Hello, friends. Welcome to Squared Plans, where creative planning and organization comes to life. I'm Stephanie, and today I'll be setting up my faith planner for the month of December. I'll be showcasing how I'm decorating the pages in a Christ centered Christmas theme. So come play with me. And I've got some washi tapes here ready to go, along with a couple of brush tip markers I'll be using, the stickers from Anna Bean on a Mission, and this aesthetic plan sticker book, which I'll pull from. Okay, just gonna quickly count and see how many weeks we have in December. And I'm thinking I'm going to cut this month a week short because I'm sure I'm gonna want to move into my planner midweek at the end of the year. So we'll just do 4 out of the 5 weeks I have here as far as setting things up. So I've laid down some wax paper to get things started, and I usually set up all 4 weeks at once on this one sheet, seeing as I only decorate the very first top box there in the left top corner. So I can pretty much estimate what the other weeks will look at by using this one layout and laying out all 4 weeks at once. I've started off by laying down some sticker paper that was part of that Aesthetic Plans sticker book called Wintertime. It basically has just a sheet of holiday music. I believe it's the song Joy to the World. So I thought that would be a good background for this theme in my faith planner. I'm also going to be using some florals from her sticker book, and I've decided on these wreaths for the weeklies. When I grabbed that big sticker sheet with the music, I decided to reserve some of it for the other spreads. The way I did that was took the full sheet and ripped it in half, and then I reserved that one half for other pages. And then I took that other half that I'm going to be using here on the weeklies, also ripped it in half again. So I had two rectangles and then divided those in half diagonally. So that's how I got these shapes that I got there. I kind of did it fast, so I wanted to make sure I explained that. I am also going to be pulling these silhouette stickers of the Nativity from Anna Bean on a Mission's paper coat sticker set. She sent me these, I think, last year, so I'm not sure if they'll be available at her shop. But I decided that these would be a nice pairing just for some classic holiday vibes with the Christ-centered kind of theme. And like I said, I'm going to be using these wreaths for the weeklies. I think that'll be a good spot to add in the quotes and also have that floral element since I will be adding those to the other pages as well. So we'll just figure out what works where and which quotes work best with which situations I'm setting up. I also pulled quite a few quotes out that I thought would work for these weeklies, putting them just kind of up there in the top right for now until I figure out a bit more of the decor for each week. So I'm pulling out some items here, reserving the larger stickers for the spreads to come, but I did want to have some of these silhouetted stickers on each of the weeklies. So just trying to figure out how to make little compilations of these stickers for each week. And just trying to mix things up a little bit. I've added some washi tape here with a little bit of a ripped edge as well, just kind of going with that loose, more rough-like theme, like I have there with the music paper. And to add a bit of color there, I did pull a couple of different washies, but I think just this addition of a bit more red will really help bring out more holiday vibes and not be too overwhelming. So we're already laying down the first weekly. Pretty much got it right where I wanted it on the first try. We'll do some trimming there. And then we'll add in the star as well. Next, we're on to the next week. And here I'm going to do one of the oppositely angled setups that I did. I'll line it straight to the line there on the side, and then also trim a little bit down here at the bottom, just so it fits nice and neatly underneath that December marker at the top. Went ahead and added in the washi tape there at the bottom, and then we'll snuggle in these angels and the star. Just trim that out. I was kind of thinking too, like timeline wise, that each week would get further along in the, Jesus birth story. So the first one is the three wise men kind of traveling across the desert, looking at the star. The second week is the angels around the star, kind of when their shepherds are in the meadow. And then we have the time where they just birthed Jesus, I guess. I'm going with that. And then the last one is kind of like the full scene after Jesus's birth. So just some little things that I had in my mind as I was setting this up to see the progression. And then the last week is Christmas week, the 25th. And so I thought that would be a nice place to end the story. And had to do a little bit of trimming on this one. It's a little bit rough there on the edge since I just basically ripped it when I set it up. So I'm going to fill in the little gap that I was seeing there with a stray piece I trimmed off earlier, just so it looks a little neater. And I'm going to add in a star there as well. Okay, so let's move on to the monthly. And for the monthly, basically we're going to be doing the same thing. I'll be using the music paper here, sticker paper, in the corner somehow, figuring out where I can create a few scenes with some quotes and some florals. So we're going to work it in here to the bottom corner and the top corner as well. And there are a few empty days at the end of the month. It's about 3. So I can put the scene, I think, in this spot down here. I had a little bit of a larger manger scene that I'm going to drop in here and maybe add a couple of other elements like the washi tape and maybe a few silhouetted items like another palm tree or something. We do want to add in some florals, and I don't think I'm going to use any more wreaths. So let's see what we have as far as floral setups in her book. I've got a couple of clustered florals, and then I also have some quotes here on the side that I think I can use as well. And we'll see what I can come up with here for this corner. I have the word joy, which I think I can nestle in here and not worry about it being cut off. So we'll do that. And maybe add some florals over here into the sidebar top. Get a little bit more presence with those though, so we'll go larger. Now I'm just trying to figure out what else we want in here. There is an empty day at the start of the month as well, which is kind of nice, so I can creep into that area a bit more too, without sacrificing any functionality. I think I'm just going to add these little angels here over the quote that says Christmas begins with Christ. and have that star as well.